What do you think is most likely to ruin the family vacation?
You, Aaron. You're always doing something stupid.
Shut up.
Hi, I'm the mom, and I think that my husband is going to ruin the family vacation because he's boring. Just kidding, honey. Hi, I'm Maria, and I think that mom is going to ruin the family vacation because she never lets me do what I want.
Hi, I'm the dad, and I don't think that anyone is going to ruin the family vacation. I spent too much money on it, so you better all be on your best behavior.
I think my little sister Marla is going to ruin the family vacation because she's annoying.
Marla, stop kicking my seat.
You're a butthead, Aaron. Kids, stop your nonsense. We can't even enjoy a family vacation without you two behaving like feral animals.
Sorry, Mom. Marla was only 8, but she was as tough as a little man. I was just trying to enjoy my music on the plane, and she kept kicking my seat for no reason. I could have broken the window and pushed her out. Don't think I hate her, though. She's my everything. And when we weren't arguing, we were usually having a good time together. Anyway, you're probably wondering where we were going. We were flying to South Korea, and it was our second vacation for the year. We usually went to common places like Disneyland and Jamaica, but my mom decided that it was time to explore Asia, and my dad usually just went along with whatever she said. I didn't know what was in store for me there, and there was no way I could have predicted any of the madness that would happen to me. Keep watching if you want to know what that was. When we landed, I was fascinated with everything around me. Our hotel was awesome, but we tried not to spend too much time there. Every day we went sightseeing. We went to the Cheongdeokgung Palace, which is where the royal family lived in the 15th century. We went to a historic city called Jeonju, where I was able to learn a bit about life in Korea in ancient times. We went to hundreds of other places, but my favorite was going to the top of Seoul Tower. The view up there was splendid. And when I reached the bottom, the best thing happened. I saw her, and I couldn't take my eyes off of her. I was lost in my thoughts for a few minutes when, wham!
What are you looking at, butthead?
My sister hit me hard on the arm. I pulled her pigtail and she went crying to our mom. I looked around for the beautiful girl again, but she was nowhere to be found. I was brokenhearted, but I was distracted by the idea of going for lunch. We did nothing for the rest of the day, and in the evening I decided to take a little stroll by myself. I took my camera with me and decided that I'd get some cool street photography views. After walking for about 15 minutes, I went down a small alleyway to chase a ginger cat because I thought he'd make a good shot next to all the cool buildings. Suddenly, a little boy approached me. He looked like he was about to burst into tears.
Help me!
What's wrong? Hey, you speak English. That's so cool.
I don't know where my mommy is.
Oh, you're lost?
Yes, and I want to go home. I'm hungry and sad.
Do you know your mom's number?
No.
Do you know your address?
Yes.
He told me his address and I typed it into Google Maps. It looked like he lived just around the block, so I figured I'd walk him there instead of calling the police. I held his hand and tried to make a friendly conversation. I didn't have much experience with little kids because, Marlo was more like a little man than a kid. What's your name?
Sung Ho.
How old are you?
I'm 5 years old.
At that age, you should know your mom's number. Make sure you find out what it is when you get home.
Okay.
We got to a really posh-looking high-rise building, and according to Google Maps, this was our destination. Whoa, Sung Ho, you live here?
Yeah.
You're rich.
You're not?
No. Let's get you home. I held his hand and went to the elevator. He seemed to know that he lived on the 32nd floor, so we went right up. We got to his door. I knocked, and a bunch of scary-looking guys opened the door. I think we have the wrong place.
Daddy, I kidnapped a big boy.
Before I could do anything, one of the scary guys grabbed me and another one tied my hands. What are you doing? Stop! A massive man appeared and picked up Sung Ho.
This is not what I meant by kidnapping. You don't hold a person's hand and bring them home. You had to use some violence. Did you even scare the kid at all?
No, but I think he's scared now.
Kidnapping? Please, no. My family doesn't have any money. We're just here on vacation. Please, let me go.
Don't worry. You won't be here for a long time. I'm just trying to teach my son a lesson, and we'll let you go after. I don't want anyone to be aware that there's a tiny, terrible kidnapper on the loose. Now, Sung Ho, go to your room and think about a better plan. You'll kidnap someone else tomorrow.
They escorted me to a room where I'd be staying until they let me out. But it wasn't like anything you'd imagine. This place actually made being kidnapped seem appealing. First, the view was breathtaking. I had a sky view of the city. and there was a seating area right next to the window. Apart from that, there was a king-size bed with loads of cushions, a huge TV, every video game console you could think of, a collection of games, a wardrobe filled with new designer clothes. If I continue, I won't stop, because there was just so much cool stuff there. Just imagine the most amazing room ever. I'm staying here?
Is it not comfortable enough? Oh, and here's the menu.
The man untied me and took me to a screen. He explained that I just had to tap on the picture of the food I wanted, and someone would bring it up to the room. Where's the bathroom? He pointed to a room which was attached to the bedroom, and it was just as luxurious. Then he took my phone and signaled to me that if I tried to contact anyone, I'd be harmed. I guess I could stay here for a while. While I was relaxing on my huge bed playing Mario Party, my parents were losing their minds. When they realized it was after 1 in the morning and I hadn't returned home, they went to the police. But they didn't speak Korean, so they needed a translator.
Our son has not returned home. We don't know what to do. I don't think he knows his way around. He must be so afraid.
This is his picture. If you've seen this boy anywhere, please escort him to the nearest police station so that he can be brought back to us.
While my parents were losing their minds, I was having the time of my life ordering all kinds of different foods at weird hours, playing video games and watching TV. I stayed up for hours. Then I eventually fell asleep for God knows how long. When I woke up, I heard some commotion outside.
Very good, Sung-ho. You finally kidnapped someone properly.
Then I heard a girl screaming in what sounded like Korean. Suddenly, my door opened and they pushed her inside. The door locked after that. I looked at her carefully and I froze. It was the same beauty I had seen at the Seoul Tower. I couldn't believe my luck. Were we really going to be here kidnapped together? Hello, I said enthusiastically. She looked at me and growled. My name is Aaron. I'm friendly, don't worry. I've been kidnapped too and I don't know what to do. She looked away and seemed upset, so I just went back to my game. I ordered some food and tried to share with her, but she refused. Then she started crying. I got her some tissues from the bathroom, but she threw it right back at me. 2 whole days passed, and to be completely honest, although I hadn't seen my family for a while, and my future was very uncertain, I was completely flattered to be sharing a room with the most beautiful girl I had ever seen in my life. Little by little, she started to open up to me, and we used Google Translate to communicate. Then, after a while, she seemed like she wanted to play video games with me, so I let her. The days passed, and it seemed like we were developing a great friendship, but I still felt like the language barrier was preventing us from going further. At this point, they were letting us leave the room sometimes because they didn't think we'd be brave enough to exit. Apparently, Sung-ho's dad owned the entire building, and if we tried to leave through the front exit, we'd be caught and sent back upstairs. I tried to think of an escape plan. Meanwhile, Sung-ho was becoming our friend, and he helped me to translate many things I wanted to say to my dream girl. Her name was Yoonji, and she loved photography just like me. One evening, when the big guys seemed occupied, we sat with Sung-ho and asked him all about his life. So why are you kidnapping people?
My father wants me to take over his business someday, and he says I have to start training very early.
Why so early? You should be in kindergarten.
Well, he has a serious illness, and he said he might not be able to be in charge much longer. He has no other children, so I have no choice.
But do you enjoy doing this?
No, I want to have friends. I want to play and be a normal kid. My dad is never happy with anything I do.
Well, I have an idea. We can all leave, but it depends on you.
How?
Well, we'll go downstairs together, and you must tell the guys at the entrance that your father gave you permission to take us outside for a while.
Then what?
Then we'll walk around the block and take a taxi to the hotel where my parents are. When we're there, we'll call the police and tell them everything. They can help you find a better home. Oh, and if you agree, I'm going to need you to translate this all for Yoonji. He looked willing and told Yoonji the plan. She looked excited, and for a few seconds, she looked at me like she was, catching feelings. I was over the moon, but even more excited that Sung-ho was going to go with the plan.
So, should we do this right now?
Yes. The guys inside were still distracted, but we tiptoed to the elevator anyway. When we got to the entrance, they looked at us funny, but Sung-ho explained to them that everything was okay. Because he was the son of the big boss, they didn't dare question him. We all followed my plan. We got to the hotel and my parents ran to the lobby screaming and crying. They both hugged me, then looked at Sung-ho and Yoonji.
Who are your friends? What's going on?
This is Yoonji. She was kidnapped. We need to call her parents as soon as possible. And this is Sung-ho. He was the one who kidnapped us. His father forces him to do things like that, but he doesn't want to. Just then, Marla walked in laughing.
I missed you, big bro, but you were kidnapped by a little kid? You're lamer than I thought.
Hey, I'm not a little kid.
Just then, I thought they were going to fight, but my dad gave Marla a stern look and she turned away. The cops appeared in no time and they were followed by dozens of news reporters. Yoonji's parents were hugging and there was chaos everywhere. It was then I realized that I couldn't find Sung-ho anywhere. I walked around the whole lobby, then I circled the building, but he was nowhere to be found. The police raided his dad's building, but by the time they got there, Sung-ho's dad and all of his men had disappeared. I figured that my little kidnapper decided he didn't want to be taken away, and that it was probably better to be with his parents, where he was safe and rich. I'm still very grateful that he helped us escape.
So, yes guys, I guess I ruined the family vacation in the end. But that was a cool adventure, wasn't it? And guess who's now in a long-distance relationship with the most beautiful girl in the world?